Today I'm joined by Sawad Manif, a rising voice at the intersection of healthcare and personal branding. Sawad has been intentionally building her presence on LinkedIn, and her journey speaks directly to students and early career professionals who are still figuring out how to show up in this space. In our conversation, we talk about why personal branding isn't optional anymore, especially in healthcare. How to share your experiences online while respecting ethical boundaries, and why, as Sawad says, failing doesn't define you. From consistency to authenticity to turning your story into real career opportunities and mentorship, this episode is a guide for anyone ready to be seen for who they are becoming. Let's dive in with Sawad.
Hi, Anas. Haslema.
How is it going?
Everything's going well. Thank you.
I'm very, very happy for having you. You are my first Gen Z guest.
Ooh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, it is. And I keep watching my statistic and see who is watching me for the age spam. And none of Gen Z there. So I'm targeting, to be honest, Gen Z. I like working with you. So I hope after our interview I get more audience from your generation. So
Fingers crossed. Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
Rab, inshallah.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for having me first. I'm really glad to be part of this.
Just to highlight it for
So, yeah.
everyone, Suad and I, we are Arabic speaker, but we have different accent and delight. So when we try to speak Arabic, we found it's easier for us to speak English.
Yeah, for sure. Different dialects.
Yes. So, Suad, you are still as a student right now, right? And you are a
Yeah, correct.
dentist student.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
You have interesting story while you are still on school. You are very active on the social media, give advice for a profession, how to target their audience, how to make more impact on the professional setup, how to present themselves probably on the LinkedIn. You speak big word for your age. So tell me, before that, about your story and the dentist, and what make you interesting to work this parallel of what you are studying.
Okay. So, like, I'm Suad Nif. I'm from Tunisia. For everyone who doesn't know where Tunisia is, it's literally in North Africa, literally at the tip, near to France and Italy, just like some
Very
geography
beautiful,
there.
very beautiful country. I
Thank
never been
you.
there, but I know it is very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a dentistry student, and just for a bit of context, in Tunisia, there's only one dental school in the whole country. Just saying. So first, it's a very small country, and like in dental school, they only accept like every year, I think around 150 to up to 200. So like 150 Tunisians, and like the 50 other places are from other nationalities, like Palestine, Maghreb, Algeria. I don't think so, but like rather Jordan. Like it's this one dentistry school in the whole country, and it's like literally there's different nationalities in there, so it's really interesting to
You are
study
you
here.
that you are nerd. That's what you try to tell us.
A nerd? Yeah, sure. I take pride in that. I take pride in that.
Okay. So, but it's interesting. The first time I know that it is only one university have dentists there. I used to have when I was young, Tunisia, one of the number one ranking as a number one in Arab countries in the education. So surprising now you tell me it is only one university only.
Yeah, only one dentistry university, also only one pharmacy university, but like four medical schools. It's
Uh,
a small country, so it's kind of understandable that there's only those limited amount of let's say healthcare universities per se.
why dentist?
Why dentistry? Well, it was just what I was first. I always wanted to become a doctor from the tender age of like 6. I used to watch medical shows with my family in the weekends. And I would literally, at that age, I would sleep in front of the TV watching the House, Doctor House. I was at Grey's Anatomy, those kind of shows with my family, and I always was fascinated with medicine. And also, like, shout out to my dad, he's a doctor. And so I was kind of like, I love what I see. This is what I want to do. I want to like just be a healer. And that's what what I wanted to do from a young age. So like when I finally got to take the exam, so like we have this national exam in Tunisia, and from that, literally the highest grades are those who pass to med school. Then they go to dental school, then pharmacy, and like so on, and like engineering. It's like literally a grading system, and if you get the highest grade, you get to choose wherever you want to go. And like in my case, I got a score that got me into dentistry, and that's why I'm doing it right now. So yeah.
You are now in fourth year or third?
Right now I'm in third year, and that's also a part of the story of why I'm doing LinkedIn right now. And so what happened is I'm supposed to be in my fourth year this year, but unfortunately I failed last year. And what happened was I I I have PCOS, and I didn't know I had it at the time. I spent all the year super fatigued, struggling to keep up the rhythm. It was too much for me. Physically, I was really tired. The symptoms were bad. And so, like, I didn't know what was up. I tried my best, and I got sick in some critical times of exams. And unfortunately, I had to repeat the year. And that was a dark period for me because I see all my friends getting into the fourth year, which for us is the clinical year. It's when you finally get to step into the clinic and meet the patients and treat them and all those beautiful things. And you also like have the white coat ceremony that I didn't get the chance to do since like I'm repeating the year. So like it was a really tough time for me over the summer when I first learned that I was failing. And so I just needed something, an outlet, some kind of anything that would keep my mind out of that state and kind of forget that I was failing. So that thing was LinkedIn. Someone really important in my life introduced me to LinkedIn and said, "Hey, Swad, you write well. I really love your writing. I think you should give LinkedIn a try." And at that time, I was like, "Sure, why not?" I had nothing to lose, and I was at the bottom. So like I started on LinkedIn that way. So yeah.
Very inspiring case. Now, right now, how you feel about your situation once coming, you are repeating the third years? Still, do you see it as a failing or as a good opportunity for you to discover another opportunity?
Well, it's always hard to feel a year, and whatever life gives you would always feel like I wish I had that year back. But like thinking back right now, it's been 9 months since I failed, and this year is finally over for me. And like the amount of growing and learning that I've done in this year is probably the most learning and growing I've done for like the past 5 to 10 years, probably. Because like for a nerd, let's say, failing feels super bad because all our personality revolves around school, and like we're literally the top of the top in dental school, medical school, all those schools. And for us to fail, it hits your confidence, it hits your ego, and you feel really bad. Like I would say it was a blessing in disguise. Me repeating this year was a blessing in disguise. First, I finally learned about my diagnosis, which is super important for my health. So there was that. And second, I had the opportunity to like get back from failure, know that what's that like, and build something from scratch, which is the LinkedIn community that I have now. And like the speaking opportunities, the jobs opportunities, the personal branding I've done, everything is like a parallel universe. that I never thought existed, like learning about marketing, for example, all those kind of stuff. If I hadn't failed, I would have like done my fourth year, and I was done like the senior like last year, like going to the library, staying there till midnight, getting back home, and rinse and repeat. Go to uni, go to clinic, and that's like that's the life of a medical school and dental student. So yeah.
Yes. So you started to see the other side, and you can start to see the positive side from this tough experience you had it in the past, and now you become more optimistic and opening and willing for the fourth year, which is something very interesting because as you mentioned, when you are nerd and you get a field, it's very hard. It's multi how maybe 10 times of normal people because they know the amount of effort they do in order to maintain their repetition, their score, and also because they are speeding up the time to make their dream. But I'm not saying this as a compliment. If you are not that good person, you will not be with me today. And the reason why behind here we see your story is interesting and we want to share it with other. If you are not successful of what you are doing, we are not here interviewing you. You need you must be proud of what you did and what you have. And at the same time, I'm happy of connecting with you and see your positive impact on the social media and the LinkedIn. Before we get more deep there, I'm
Thank you.
wondering, as you mentioned, a few of students they were accepted and admitted for the medical schools and dentistry school. So that will give you the, let's say, common sense. You are nerds, and they have see you 3 years ago. So having a clinical issue and serious issue, did you get any flexibility, support, whatever from your school, out of your family, from your school, from the university, try to give you options? And did they give you a psychological support also to overcome these challenges? Or they leave it by yourself with لحالك?
I'd say do it لحالك. Exactly that. That's the sentence that sums it up. Like, I'd say there's a psychologist. Like, if you want to book her at school, you can. And I did. And like, I really tried my best to work with her. She did her best. I didn't find her to be the best fit for me, but like, she tried her best. And like, but I didn't feel like it helped a lot. But also, what I wished the school had done would literally last year when I was failing and like I had an exam that I couldn't attend. So like I do remember this clearly. It was the second semester, and I went in. It was a Monday. Had the exam. I was super tired. I was not feeling well. I had that one and went straight to sleep. I was sick. I couldn't wake up. I was alone. I was living alone. And like even to get like medicine, I couldn't. I didn't lunch. I didn't get dinner. I was literally on my own. And what happened was the second day I had another exam and I couldn't physically go. So I had to miss that. And unfortunately, our university, even though I did bring up a certificate because I was literally in bedridden, and they didn't take that into consideration at all. And I wish they did, because like I know other people that were, I had other cases, maybe it was like not the same year as me, but those things happen in life. And I think we should offer some kind of flexibility and some slack to the medical students, or to all students really. But like, especially in the healthcare system, we take care of people's health, but the system doesn't take care of us. And they let us burn out. They let us experience health issues, get overworked. And you as a nurse, I'm pretty sure you've had this experience as well of being overworked by the system. So I would say the university really didn't help. And I wish at times that I needed it the most. Some compassion from the system. I wish I had it. And I wish like from them maybe listening to this, they would implement some kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, whichever it is, Just like be compassionate. We're human first. We're not doctors first, we're human first. And that's all I have to say about that.
I feel your pain, and yes, I know this is very hard, and the feeling of overwhelmed and depressed, and they left you fall apart, and do that by yourself isn't something nice. So you need something at least, even if there is no solution, at least to feel, because we suppose to support the healthcare system. So how is the healthcare system working in supporting who is in the need? So I am in the need. How you support me? And this is give you what you expecting in the future. So I'm asking this because, as you know, Saad, we connected and we work on building the community, try to prepare the student from different background to be market ready and market fit. So you right now as a student, and based on your community, your friend, your colleague, your fellow, uh, uh, it's not necessarily in your current university, overall in Tunisia. How you see in Tunisia and out of Tunisia, because you are famous also on UK. So
I am kind of.
how the students right now picturing themselves to play to involve in the healthcare system when they are graduated?
Okay. So it's a bit different in the UK versus in Tunisia. So I'm gonna first start with my country. And like in here in Tunisia and in the North African system, to generalize, at least North Africa, or at least the big Maghreb, which is the border of Algeria, Tunisia, Maghreb, Libya. So like per se, we have a very backwards kind of thinking, which is we still view doctors as like, oh, this is the most prestigious job ever. Like, after you graduate, you would either go work with the public sector or try to get abroad, sorry, or you open your own private practice. So those are the three paths that we have, and that's all. And like, if you ever, God forbid, think about doing this career switch, your family will be, what? How would you give that up? You've worked for this
Where
all
are
for
you?
10 years. Yes, how dare you? You did this not only for you, but you did this for us. Being a doctor in your family, it's not a personal thing, it's a family thing. And they take so much pride in you being a doctor. So like you feel like you're not letting yourself down, but you're letting your family down. And that can be a limiting belief. And for like, so just getting back to your question, in here, the graduates will be thinking, I need to go abroad, I need to open a clinic, or I need to join the hospital. And that's it. Whereas in the UK, they have like more options of like,
So before we go for UK, haven't said those options. Do you see all the student overall? Are you ready for the market right now? All those practice? Do you have that confidence level? Yes, I need to start seeing the patient.
no, at least in my country, in Tunisia, I can generalize for other universities, but like we're teach the basics of dentistry and all the other stuff you need to attend on your own. So literally you need to pay extra to get extra training, to go to those like webinars, to those trainings, and like invest in your learning. And so you're basically just have like the diploma and nothing more. All the extra skills, whether it's like managing your own clinic or like interpersonal relationships. So how to deal with a patient, how to be like all those kind of stuff, and like technical stuff also like new technologies, etc. All of those aren't necessarily provided by the university, but they're trying. I wouldn't say they aren't trying, they are. And like, but you're still not job ready and you need to do that extra effort, put in extra money to just train more. Oh, by the way, so in Tunisia, it's free education. So like that's a bonus. Yeah. So I don't know in other African countries how it is, but it's literally free education. We only pay for the, let's say, we call it inscription. which is at the beginning of the year when you just go to submit your papers that
Tuition?
you've passed the
The
year.
tuition that you mean?
It's not really a tuition. It's literally less than $50, and that's all for the
Okay.
full year. So like it's free education basically. And that's why maybe that might be a reason why we're not necessarily market ready per se. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see because it's public and because it's free, maybe also there is no innovation, improvement on curriculum as fast as the market needs. Let's put it in this way. For sure, there is improvement, but it is not following the speed of the market. To be honest, Suad, it's not only Tunisia. Even here in the
Okay.
West, they have the same feeling. But I would like to hear from students. So we hear this a lot, and we see every time when the student they are graduated in different generation, every time there's a gap between what they have learned and what the markets need. And that gap it's become
Wider and
bigger and
wider.
bigger, more and more. So this is what's happening. So tell me about your perspective, your experience with your friends about UK, for example.
I still didn't make dentist connections in the UK. That like mostly doctors. But as I can see, they have, of course, better readiness to the market than we do. And obviously, there's a lot of factors into that. But one of the most basic things that I noticed, for example, is that students there, they give them opportunities to do research as early as they're still like second year, first year, even third year of med school. Whereas in our case, for example, in Tunisia, you literally need to, you're doing your thesis. So like to take the diploma, that's the first research you ever do. It's super late. It's like in your 6th year, that's when you do your first research. We don't give our students the opportunity to do early research. And so me versus a student from the UK, after our 6 years, I would be like, I have only one publication versus them, they would have like maybe 3, 4, even 5. And those kind of stuff really matter when we want to find better opportunities abroad, for example. But like, I'm pretty sure there are other aspects that I don't necessarily know about, but I do feel like they have better readiness. And I think you should interview a UK student and they would tell you better than I, of course, if
Yeah,
they feel ready
inshallah,
for the
we
market
will
or not.
try. And this is, I will utilize this because, as I told you, you are the first Gen Z, and I'm looking for any student. They are interesting to come with me because it is a learning curve, and we try our best to improve the education system and decrease the burnout because you're right now it's too early for the student to get overwhelmed and burned before they got in the system. There is a lot in the system to be burned.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, Suad, let's assume you will be after this podcast, you will be the Minister of Education.
I wouldn't want
Okay.
to be that.
Okay. Okay. And we hire you to fix what in it in the healthcare, let's say in education system, and make the healthcare profession the market ready. So what is your recommendation, advice, or action you will take immediately as a top priority to do this improvement in the system?
Okay. For this supposedly case, let's say I have ultimate power to do whatever I want.
Yes. So
And I have the
Superwoman.
money to do so. Yes. So I have the power and I have the finances. Because I really do believe that the most limiting things is the finances in our countries. That's why we're not doing per se the best things for our students. It doesn't come from bad mentality or like bad intentions. It's really that we're doing the best we can. I just wanted to say that first. I also want to really send a big appreciation for some of my professors, and one of them in particular, Madame Latifa Berzouga. even though it's not a dedicast part. I'm sorry if I really love that professor so much. And here's why. Because she
Big,
gave me
big shout out for Madame Latifa.
Latifa. Yeah. So she gave me the opportunity to do research, even though I'm still a third year, just a third year. And she came up to me. She saw my activity on LinkedIn. She was always supportive of that. It's rare, super rare to find a professor active on LinkedIn first. And that is supportive of her students. And she was like, oh, there's this program. I think you should come. I will help you out. And so Madame Latifa, I really appreciate you so much.
Madame Latifa.
Yeah, I saw that. So yeah, back to your question. What I do as a minister of education for the healthcare system, I would try to provide some kind of the option to get the online courses. So right now, not every university of ours, or rather only one of our medical schools in Tunisia, do provide the recordings of the theater courses. So we have the schedule of 4 hours in the morning to get into those courses. And then the afternoon you have the clinicals. Those are for second and third year. That's the process. Morning you have the courses, the afternoon you have the clinicals. And for the remaining, it's the reverse. But literally that's 8 hours of university per day, which is too much for us. And then you will have to go to the library or study at home, which it's not human, to be honest. It's if you work at a corporate job, you would do 6 hours per day, and that's all. And we need to do more than 8 hours of studying plus clinicals per day. And so what I do is provide the opportunity for the students so if they don't want to attend the courses, they can just take those online. They have all the full material online. They can access it at home. They can speed it up, even skip stuff. So that's a big one. And the first one, what I do. Second, I would try to eliminate the access. So if there's repetitive stuff, so in dentistry, for example, you would see some kind of overlapping. Let's say in semiology or another course, bacteriology, let's say, these both have this similar part, literally the same thing. Why do you need to study it twice in this and in that? Just eliminate one of them and that's all. Just to trim down, basically. And also try to refresh, try to adhere to the new guidelines. And I don't need to know necessarily a guideline from, I don't know, let's say from World War II, for example. I don't need to. I feel like there's some kind of stuff that should just be eliminated. It's just excess. It's too old, rather too old or too much for us. So we need to check that. And also, I would just try to, this is something that students won't like, but it will make studying easier and lighter for them, which is extend the year a bit. So for us, we already finished by now. So in May, today we are 21st of May, and we've already finished all our exams. And the year is a bit rushed. So let's just say we should extend a bit for this so that the student has more time to just study, get all the material done well, and just try to give him or her better chance at succeeding from the first get-go. Because we have what we call session de contrôle, which is the second, let's say, if you didn't pass some of the exams, you get to repeat them. And it's in early June as well. So we should just extend those a bit to just make sure that most of our students get the opportunity to study properly to the exams. They don't feel rushed, they don't feel burnt out, and they can actually succeed. We give them chances to succeed. Why do we need to make it harder for them? Medical school is already hard enough. I think that should be, oh yes. And also try to implement more mandatory summer trainings. So I think that's something we should really implement for us, especially doctors. We In our case, we only have 2 of those in the first year and then the second year, and it's only 2 weeks. So like you have to do 2 weeks at the first year and the second year. If we had more of those, I feel like we would be more ready to get into clinicals and feel better prepared when we finally get our diplomas. I think that's it.
Yeah, just to wrap up for something, when we just started, you mentioned there is nothing train you or educate you on the school to be good in management, good in leadership, in the strategy, something like this. So do you think those soft skills is, which is not hard skills, something it's good to be considered with part of bringing professional to be inject with it, with Madame Afaf, for example, to work with them to give you the reality on the market how it's going. So this is mainly is not only for dentists. This is only for physicians, for nurses, for any schools. So this is will help you, for example, in nurses and pharmacists to be very clear and, for example, because maybe you will be able to open your private practice, so maybe you need to be aware how to do the sales, how to do the marketing, all those things, because your profession give you this opportunity. But what I have understand from you and from the other, this is something self-education. It's normal that school, they cannot cover everything. But as much as I know, this is part from my role there. Why is it not cover at least the fundamentals for that? Because not all of the students will go and open their private practice, but there is a few from them that will go. So why not to make them ready? So what's your opinion about this?
Okay. So first, again, getting back to the same idea that in my country, for example, it's outrageous to think that a dentist won't become a dentist. Just outrageous thought. And for us, our professors, I think they've had it easier in a way, although they always say, oh, we've had it harder, we didn't have the internet, didn't have Google, now you have
Chat GPT.
AI. Yeah. So like, and here's why they have had it easier is like more opportunities are open to them. So like, it's super competitive right now. The number of graduates, each year we have new graduates, and the spots in the hospitals are nearly like done. It's literally really very few open slots per year, super few. And for the open a private practice is super expensive, and also you need to find a good location that is not crowded, which is, if you're in the capital, let's say, it's pretty much impossible. All those factors our professors don't really want to see. They know them, but they don't really want to see them. And so they still think like, just give the students the academia and that's enough. That will make them somehow succeed. But right now, it's not. And our professors aren't necessarily trained to give those skills because they don't have those. And as I said, they came from an older generation, an older system. So I don't think they do realize the importance of all those interpersonal skills. Even like most of my professors right now don't have a LinkedIn account. I'm just saying. And most of my professors don't post about their research on LinkedIn. They don't share that. Just saying, there's a lack of awareness. I really think right now our only option as students from like the North African region is to do the job ourselves, to participate in clubs, participate in extracurriculums, or like the internet is wild and you can literally find anything and you just need to do your research and just want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way to succeed somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot agree with you more. So just one thing I want to start from the LinkedIn. You mentioned your professors right now, not all of them they are in the LinkedIn, and this is not their issue. Also, right now I can see not all of Gen Z and also Millennium, my generation, they believe LinkedIn is a right place. They don't have any access or any presence there. So how someone like you still in the school and considered very young to the market, you read the message, in order to be successful I need to have my own presence on the LinkedIn. How you find this easier and you speak very confident about that, and the other in the same age of your generation, they keep it on the TikTok, with all respect for their dancing. But tell me, okay, you told me someone from your network advised to go there, but here I will quote something you put it there. In just 90 days, you grow your LinkedIn reach from 0 to K impression. So you are a pro. So you are not. So tell me more.
No, no, I wouldn't say I was a pro. And let me just first address the part, how did I get into LinkedIn? And then I will address the second part, how did I get those results? So first, I was like my professors, I was like my peers, I was just like them. And last year, if you've asked me in May, let's say, last May in 2024, I would have told you we're crazy. I would have told you LinkedIn isn't for me. I'm not ever starting a side hustle or a business. I would never do a webinar or like a podcast like right now. And like I was pretty much like all my professors and in my peers. I didn't really believe in LinkedIn. I was like, let's say ignorant. And they won't like this word, but that's the truth. I was ignorant about all those opportunities online. And what happened was like this very special person in my life. He's not in the medical sector. And thank God for that, because that's why I learned about marketing. That's why I learned about LinkedIn. And like, that's why I've had the opportunity. I've had him in my life.
And I see you are also good in designing. You do
Well,
good
I
stuff.
wouldn't say.
Even though if you have AI tool, you are working on that, but still you have that taste, the good taste to present it on the LinkedIn.
Thank you. I think it's all right. It's not that I'm trying. What I say, I'm just trying. So yeah, thank you so much for that compliment. What I'm just trying to say is sometimes all what you need is to find the right person at the right time and be open-minded, which I was. And it started by learning that LinkedIn is useful when you're trying to find sponsoring. So like it all started when I was in a club, we needed some funds, and like this very same person told me that you can literally find some sponsoring on LinkedIn. And that was the first time I learned about it. And then after I failed, he told me, hey, you write amazingly. Maybe you should try this. And that's what I did. I had nothing to lose. I loved writing. I just went for it. And so he guided me, like in the first month, gave me resources. And one of them, for anyone who's interested to learn on their own, there's this free course, which is called the Lemlist Branding School. Go do it, please. It will help you a lot. It's free. You don't need to pay for whoever those gurus tell you. Just start from there. It will give you all the basics to start. And from that, I started with the 30-day LinkedIn challenge. And one thing about me is I'm very consistent. So like I love building habits. I'm a habit person. And if I say I'm doing 30 days, it means I'm doing that. And that's what happened. I first started with 30 days and I got pretty all right results. But then I decided to go further. And then I did 90 days nonstop. That was the goal. And really, I was just sharing about my field, dentistry. That was like before, like teaching people about LinkedIn. I used to just share about dentistry. And the 100K, I was super surprised, to be honest.
By the way, I never had this number.
Wow, really?
I am on LinkedIn more than 15 years. Okay, I never
Mhm.
had this number.
In 3 months, you never got that in 3 months, 90 days?
Never ever had K impression.
So like just to flex, right now I'm just flexing. One of my clients is getting 90K impressions per month. And we got that to like, I think nearly 2 months in a row. I think, I'm not pretty sure, but like it's 90K per month, which is crazy. Anyways, basically it's just like you need to learn how to write. And like I'm not saying that everyone knows how to write. It's just what we're taught in primary school, high school, is like use those fancy expressions, use those pretty words, make it sound smart. And on LinkedIn, if you write smart, you won't win. But if you write easy and simple, that's when you will win. And just anyone listening to us right now, just take that sentence and go with it. So yeah, I'd say by trying 90 days of writing, I did find some pretty interesting topics. And those were the ones that did the majority of the results. What I'm trying to say is, if you've ever heard of the 20-80% rule, did you ever hear of that?
Pareto, yeah.
Yeah. So 80% of the results of the work bring in 20% of the results. And that's what happened. I was like working. And those 20% were the ones that got me into 1K. What I'm trying to say is I've had literally one post that did 3K on its own, a post that I think did 11 or 2K, and another one that did 8, and another one that did 5, and the rest, like, they would do average, pretty average K maybe. So like I reached those 100K, especially from those 20% that gave me the best results, right? So to sum it up, if you want to win on LinkedIn, do this free course, the Lemless Branding course, stick to 90 days, and like write daily, and just don't give up until you hit the 90 days. That's it.
So thank you for your advice. The resources there, you can find whatever you want as a free. You had a proven course, make you who you are today, and you advise everyone to go. But till now, I'm assuming, I am pretending I am a student. What is in it for me? Why to go for the LinkedIn? Okay.
What is it, isn't it for you? Okay, I love that question. Why do you need to be on LinkedIn? First, treat your LinkedIn as your digital portfolio. So right now, the CV isn't super useful. LinkedIn is the new CV. If you go to events, you need to share that on LinkedIn. If you do projects, you need to share that on LinkedIn. If you write articles, you need to share that on LinkedIn as well. And even if like you do small jobs, collaborations, etc., please just share that on LinkedIn, and just trust me. Even if you don't decide to write for the 90 days, you say it's not for me, even just only you sharing the things that you do, the events, the collabs, the articles that you write, you will still have something to show up for yourself. So like LinkedIn is super powerful when it comes to finding opportunities, whether it's jobs, whether it's like collabs, whether it's events to attend. There's a lot of stuff or even like free internships, or rather unpaid internships. That's what I meant. Or like if you want to work for a club, an organization like UNICEF or like those kind of organizations, you can just need
NGO and
to
NVO.
find, yeah, exactly, the NGOs. Basically, if you want to elevate your career, and if you're thinking long term, which you should be on LinkedIn. And a part of being on LinkedIn is like you should optimize your profile, you should network, and you should post a minimum amount of times. Like, let's say you can find someone who's already, let's say, a CEO. You can find a doctor, let's say. If you DM them smartly, if you interact on the platform smartly, you can get yourself a mentor. And that's priceless. People pay to get mentors. On LinkedIn, you can get it for free if you know what you're doing. And I hope I gave you enough reasons
Yeah,
for why
absolutely.
you
But
need to join.
okay, for someone as still in the school, okay,
Mm.
it's crystal clear. My future will come through the LinkedIn. whether what is this my plan. I need to come through the LinkedIn to go for my ultimate goals and the end destination. But for you as a student, why you need mentor while you are still studying?
Uh,
It's
I
silly
think it's
question, but
done.
let me see how the student they are thinking. What the most objective they looking to have from the mentor or coach.
Okay, I'm sorry. What I meant to say is, I think it's not to want a mentor. So, like, everyone needs a role model, and a mentor is literally that. So that would be a doctor that's right now he's in a position that you want to be in 3 to 5 to 10 years. That's a mentor. So if you want to enter a space, you want to access a space, you want access to knowledge and to opportunity, you need a mentor. That's the important role of a mentor to me, at
Absolutely
least.
right. Why I am asking you, because back in the day when I was young, having a mentor, this is something considered very luxurious. It's not an easy to find that, and there's no platform access, and it wasn't normalized it like right now. So it was very hard, and I need to hire, and it's very expensive, especially if I am a student. I cannot afford anything from that. So listening that from the student, just hear the right things, that mean you understand where you want to go and you will find your mentor who you want to go there. So back for your words, wherever you want to go, you need to go for the LinkedIn. While you are coming through the LinkedIn to reach for your final destination, you can find someone like a mentor. He or she can speed up your journey and make sure you will land it there smoothly and successfully.
Yeah, you brilliantly summed it up. Yeah, صح. You're
طيب
perfect wording.
سعاد, who is your audience now? Who
My
is your
audience.
persona?
Okay. My ICP, my audience is literally doctors. It's
And
medical
doctors or
students also.
seasonal and
You know,
professional?
it's like right now, I think it should be in the 40 or 60% should be professionals in the medical sector. Pharmacists, doctors, consultants, GPs, all that stuff, mostly based in the UK right now, some of them in the US, some Tunisians, and are like also students from other nationalities. But most of my network is doctors. It's in the healthcare system, at least.
And your your messages or your content mainly about your training and about your courses about medical topics, or you post and write something away from what you study?
Okay. So when I first started, like I told you, in the 90 days, I used to write only about dentistry. And at the time, the goal was to get into medical writing, which I did for a while, and maybe earn from it, like get some gigs to write medical blogs. That was the goal. After a while, I noticed that not many doctors are using LinkedIn properly. And I decided if there was an opportunity here and like the chance to educate doctors, which like I'm really passionate about the healthcare sector, I decided to just switch into educational content, sharing about LinkedIn. And the goal is to get more doctors to join LinkedIn, to use it properly and like to share their thoughts because doctors have so much to say. I wish doctors would be more on social media to spread the right information, the research, all that stuff, like instead of those TikTok influencers that preach about health. I just wish that. And so that's why I switched into educational content, talking about LinkedIn, how you use it, how you optimize your profile, how to start a basic strategy, and why you should just start. That's it. You need to start. It's the most difficult part, I think.
Saad, tell me more about now you consider yourself or you positioning yourself as entrepreneur and you have your own side hustle and you mentioned right now many time my client. So what is your business?
Okay, first, I'm not an entrepreneur. I think that's a flashy word. I don't like flashy words. entrepreneurship it's all about bringing in something innovative, and I don't think I'm doing that at the moment. And so I'm just trying to help other doctors. That's it. And like it's nice to earn from it. It's really nice. But the main goal is to just help other doctors, students too. That's why I also do the free webinars with the student associations. It's just to spread the LinkedIn knowledge and the opportunity, just the awareness. So like what I do is literally my side hustle since I'm a full-time student, and it's I ghostwrite for doctors. So what I would do is I optimize their profiles, which like I get them from a profile that's not seen, that feels ugly and old with that gray banner and that crooked picture and all, and just transform the whole thing, optimize the profile. Because the importance of an optimized profile is because on LinkedIn, there's like kind of an SEO. So like you get ranked on your LinkedIn based, let's say, on the terms in your about section, in your tagline, in your experience section. So let's say that supposedly a recruiter is searching for a nurse to this new clinic that's about to open. And what they would do is type in, let's say, nurse, let's say the location, and active on LinkedIn. Most of the time, they do search for people that are active, so that when they contact them, they can get a reply. And so that's one way to look at it. You need to share your skills, put in your experience section, and think about it through, because LinkedIn is also a recruiting tool. If you want to, let's say, send out, you need to just optimize your profile so that you appear before other candidates as well. That's the main goal. Sorry, remind me the question. What was it?
About business model. So your business model and what is your business exactly. So what I understand from you, you help the student who is with a clinical background or medical background to optimize their LinkedIn profile and help them to outstand on the industry or into the platform to get more attention, to help them to get more, let's say, hits from recruiter, from
Not students. I don't like not students. I do help doctors that wanna, let's say, right now I switched a bit. So like right now I'm helping doctor founders. So like people that are
oh,
like
interesting stuff.
thinking about.
How you convince them who is they are in the market, and you are a student, and you are the good fit for that. It's lovely. I like it. I thought you work with the student. So
No, I don't work with students because students are broke. That's why I don't work with students.
rich student now. Okay.
No, I give that knowledge for free because I'm a student. I want to help students. It's in webinar format. And if anyone wants, I have a Notion template that is, I always also give it for free to students. That's what I do for students, but I don't get paid from students. I get paid from doctors because that's where the money comes, right?
The money. Interesting. Interesting. So that mean you are very for sure you are confident for that. But when you have a client came as a founder and as a seasonal profession, this is very interesting, and you know exactly how to communicate with them, what there is a problem, how to solve their problem, and what is your unique value proposition they need the other they don't have. So, do you have any recurring customer or client, or they work for you for one project, or let's say on the project, then they go and you put them on the track?
Okay, so first I'm gonna say it took me some time to get confident in this offer, and also especially when you do a first sales call. I've never had sales training. I'm a dentist after all, and all that. Shout out to this amazing person in my life who's a marketer who knows all this stuff. That it's like told me there's this closer framework, which is Alex Hormozy created this closer framework and use that, insert in ChatGPT all like your persona, what you need, and like the amount of time it takes for you, and like this closer framework, and also using ChatGPT And having the guidance did help me close my first client back then. So like it's two stories.
Can you share with
One of them,
me how much you charge the first client?
I'd rather not share the prices right now.
طيب لا
Maybe I
خلاص.
would share them with you privately. I would share them with you privately if you want after the podcast. Yeah, sure, for sure. But in the podcast, I'm not gonna share about my prices. But if anyone is interested to work with me, come slide in my DMs and we can discuss that thing.
I'm pretty sure you will have a hit from this podcast. And if you don't follow Saad, follow her. I follow her. I am very impressed of what she is doing. And you do something. You keep shouting for your client. You keep put the result, and you give a screenshot to prove your methodology and your strategy. And it seems to work because it's not one client. You keep bring your client. You put their screenshot. So shout out, Suad, for what you are doing. And I'm very proud of that because till now there is a lot of in your generation, my generation, and previous generation, they don't see LinkedIn is something it's necessarily till now. Even though whatever your background, what's your target, both of us right now we agree it is the right way to go through it. Then after that you will discover where to go. So, Suad, I want to wrap up and close our podcast. We are running out of the time. But one thing I need to know now, you are a content creator, you are a student, you are content creator, and you have business, you own it, you work with that, and you are active in the LinkedIn make networking. From how you balance all of those?
Okay.
And
You
you are
know
nerd.
the term of, yeah, of course, I'm nerd. Nerd first, LinkedIn second. Okay, so how I do that is what they call skill stacking or like habit stacking. So when I started on LinkedIn, I needed some time to write. It took me a lot of time. One of the first few posts I wrote took me 1 hour and a half to just write a simple post. Right now, I'm much more speedier. I can literally write a post in 10 minutes, even 5 minutes if I wanted to. So that helps. So when you're starting out, whether it's in business or like side hustle, start by learning one thing at a time, master it, and then move on. So like once I've mastered writing on LinkedIn, I decided now it's time to start interacting with others. So for me, at first, it was difficult to comment because I needed to take the time to reflect and think about something thoughtful to add into the conversation. And then that muscle got trained. The more I did it, the more I got better. So that was the second skill I had to learn. The third skill was basic design because some of my work involves design and I did struggle with that for a bit. So what I did was I offered some free revamps for doctors or dentists that are in my network or are my friends or I admire. So I did offer that. And once I mastered that skill, okay, now we're moving to paid. So that was it. So first I had proof. And like I asked of them, can I use this in my Canva website? And they said yes. And can I show those in LinkedIn? And they said yes. And so that's what I did. After that, I needed to learn how to speak in like public or in front of camera. Like right now, I used to struggle a lot, especially as English is my third language. My second language is French. So like, again, that's like literally the fifth skill I had to stack, which is get comfortable talking to people, to doctors that sometimes might be intimidating. We're talking about people that are from the UK. English is their first language. And some people do kind of judge, even they don't want to admit it. But like, if you have maybe an accent, maybe in like, I had some a while back when I was still located in my LinkedIn right now, you will find UK. I'm still in Tunisia but I'm putting it on LinkedIn in the UK because I've had some experiences when people wouldn't like reply nicely. They would be like super. I felt some passive aggressiveness in the GMs when I was outreaching just based on the location. And so when I shifted the location, that's when I closed my second client, just saying there. And so all those skills, the outreach, the sales calls, the design, the ghostwriting in itself, all those skills, each time you learn something, And since it's now learned, it requires less time to do. So you put that, you take a specific time for it, and then you move on to the next, until now you have some kind of routine, a big routine formed of smaller routines. And you stick with that, and you have like, that's what a business takes. That's it.
MashaAllah عليكي Suad.
Thank
You're
you.
doing very
Thank you.
well, and very great. I enjoy my time with you, and I learn a lot. And you know that this is not only in the podcast. You know, when I sit with you and you give me the advice, and sometimes also you help me to polish my work. So thank you, Suad. I like what you are doing. And last advice from you to close this episode today. So if you want to share only one advice, what this advice will be?
Okay. First, I too really enjoyed the session. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you for hosting me. And second, if I had to give an advice to healthcare professionals, or to everyone, to anyone watching this, failure doesn't have to define you. Even if you fail, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's like this lyrics from a song. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Correct, yes.
I don't know if it's Katy Perry or whoever it is, but that's literally it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Even if you fail, you can get up. If you get up, that's a win already. But if you're able to bring something new and fresh from that failure and become better, that's a bigger win. And like, if you don't fail, you don't learn. Also, please don't give up too quickly, because in our generation as Gen Z, with like the electronics, the TikTok, everything, we're used to fast dopamine and instant gratification. We expect results instantly, and that's super wrong. That's like a bad way to think about things. Everything takes time. It might take you longer or shorter, but you need to just work for it, wait for it, be patient, and the results will come eventually. That's it.
يعيشك ربي. Thank you, Suad.
Aishik.
I will see you later with some good news, and looking forward. I'm sure we will find another opportunity to connect. We enjoy our time, and is it lovely to see a young lady like Suad? She has this whole success and good story to tell for us. Suad, I believe you are a role model for others, and you give a lot of valuable and fruitful advice. Thank you for your energy and vibes. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed my time. You're a great host.
يعيشك.
And I hope people find value from this episode. Feel free to connect with me if you're interested, whether it's working with me or if you're a student and you need advice. Just write a personalized DM. I hope.
Well, I will share your info on the screen so they will see your contact, and for sure they will connect with you. Please connect with her.
Also, please like this episode. Anas is doing an amazing job with this. So please thumbs up for this.
Thank you. Yalla, bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Hope to see you. Bye bye.
If this episode sparked something in you, here's how you can keep our mission alive. Subscribe to Uncharted Narratives Surdiyat. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps more amazing people discover our stories. Share an episode that moved you with a colleague or friend. Connect with me on LinkedIn and join our healthcare innovation community. Together, we're not just telling stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in healthcare. See you in the next episode of Uncharted Narratives Surdiyat.